circa 1750.
Okay,
That's the person who-
I've got 7:02, I'll call meeting of the Canterbury Historic District meeting to order.
And he had two.
After we get our history lesson here.
Right
I
around
gotta call the
seven,
meeting to order.
right around
Have a
17:50.
Yeah, we'll have a meeting, then we'll have a history
I'll tell
lesson.
you.
Okay.
Alright, so first up is the approval of the July 16th minutes. Had a chance to read them, the minutes are being posted on the website. I'll entertain a motion to accept and approve.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion, omissions, errors, things you were misquoted on?
I'm gonna pull them up right now, I haven't seen them,
Okay.
I'll admit it.
While he's doing that, I will say that we have 3 applications for certificates of approval, all from the Canterbury Shaker Village. Meeting house window renovation, restoration, Shaker Horse Barn roof, and the bee house. Fun stuff.
Did you receive the additional information on the meeting house? If we can expand that review, I'd love to. If we need to do that another month, we can do that
I
another
think we
month.
have to do it another month because I did not get it.
Okay,
Let me see here.
that's not a problem at all because new information continues to come in, so,
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
just have the,
the roof, okay.
Yep.
I mean the windows, not the roof,
Windows.
the windows.
yeah, no.
Okay.
Speaking of which, I'll ask after you're done reading.
I really nice.
You did? Okay.
They're fun.
They're fine, okay. I guess if there's no discussion, all in favor accepting the July minutes? Aye,
Aye.
unopposed? Alright.
We have no copies? No copies?
No paper copies. We're working on that part too. Okay, so, moving right along, let's get to number 1. I've got here the meeting house window restoration. Aaron, why don't you come on up and give us a synopsis of what the.
In a nutshell, and I have a printed copy here if anyone wants to take a look at it as we go. But we will be in phases removing all of the 2/2 wood window sash in the meeting house. And arch weathers will be restoring them off-site, and then they will be returned to the meeting house and reinstalled. The, Jim Garvin, who is, has spent his career in historic preservation and has developed quite a, I don't even know how to, it's like anything's gonna be understated, but he's quite an expert in the field, really helped us develop the scope for the project with an eye to preservation, that where in most cases we would do more work to ensure the sort of longevity of the windows. In this case, because of the historic sensitivity of the windows, we're doing sort of the least amount possible. And essentially, the biggest thing is we are trying to do very little subtractive change in that we will be doing some interior paint, but we won't be like, we're not removing any more than we have to, even in terms of paint on these windows. So I can get into details if you want, but basically it's going to be the very least we can do to ensure the longevity of these windows. What else do you wanna know?
Yeah, I'll just point out that the reason this is before the board is because the removal,
Because we're gonna be taking them
taking
out.
them out of the
Yeah.
building or off the building, so any repairs that require taking anything off the building have to have historic district approval, so.
But the bottom line, it's gonna look the same
The same,
as it
but
was.
with a fresh coat of paint and glazing,
Yeah.
but yeah, we're not changing anything, we're not changing any openings or any dimensions or any, where we have to replace, muntins, they'll be, replaced in kind, mostly repaired. We have done 2 of the windows as an example, as we were developing the scope. Arch took them out and sort of worked on this together with Drew Bedard and Jim to figure out what the scope would be. So those are back in, if anyone wants to come see the work that was done, those 2 are back in now.
Every window's getting reglazed, like all reglazing.
I
Only-
suspect that if there are some that don't need it, I suspect
Okay.
it'll be an as needed thing, but it's been quite some time. And I know the windows on the second level all need it, those are in the worst condition for whatever
Do you
reason,
know what kind of paint?
I can tell you.
I think it says linseed oil in that.
Can see that?
Yeah.
Page,
You have it right there.
6 or 7. Yeah.
Paint formulations,
Oil-based exterior house paint for the exterior, then linseed oil on the interior.
oh, so we're just oiling the interior, okay.
Yep, rabbit bare wood and apply linseed oil and bedding putty before replacing glass and sash.
That's in this.
Yeah, page
Yeah.
6, like 6, 7, 8.
I didn't know this, but,
And on the,
I'll take your word for it.
oh yeah, that's interior.
yeah, it's the top of the bottom of the previous page says restoration repairs exterior. And then the next page at the top,
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, cause your computer's so quick in
so yeah, the idea is a true restoration, as little as possible because of the unique, excuse me, the unique nature of the sashes themselves.
And the paint too, because that building hasn't been painted since 1870 something on the interior, we're trying to preserve as much of that paint as possible. Most of it's gone on the windows, a lot of it has worn off. They're largely bare wood. And that was part of the discussion because some of the contractors were not comfortable not finishing the job. And they weren't comfortable doing it that way, but Arch is willing to do it this way. So he's our guy.
Was there any further thought given to heat with respect to condensation? I know that was one of Jim's earlier discussions, was if we were able to put some heating source in there, minimal heating to prevent condensation, to prevent window rot.
We have not made, at this point, we do not plan to add heat to the building, there is currently no heat in the building.
Right.
We do have, I would call it a moisture meter, there's probably a better word, but we are tracking the humidity and changes in temperature so that one thing we're considering is adding storm windows, which might seem silly if the building isn't heated, but it would be to protect the windows more than for weatherization. But we don't wanna do that if we're gonna be causing moisture problems in the building. So right now, we're trying to get a better understanding of how moisture is moving in the building. And I think part of the reason we're not proposing storm windows now, even with the rest of the scope, is because we need to learn more first. Part of it is we need to get, there's some structural repairs that will have to happen under the building, and we'll learn a lot more about sort of where moisture is moving through as we get under there too.
For what it's worth, I think the addition of storm windows would be a real problem, my opinion. cause it changed the look entirely. If you're looking at just applying storm windows made out of a frame with 12 by 12, or how big would it be, 30 by 30 inch glass in front of the front of the windows, that would change the look considerably.
And I think the good news is that's not being proposed right now because we haven't sorted that all out, and it would really be a matter when we get there of that cost benefit of, you know, what are we gaining and what are we sacrificing? So that's not on the table right now. Right now, we're just restoring the windows and not adding storm windows.
Has the state reviewed this plan?
So Laura still needs to make a site visit, but her that's the wrong paper. 1 second. I'm shuffling papers.
She's still gainfully employed?
She is, they ended up saving everybody. At the last minute, the funding came through. Ben was able to, at least
Really?
for this year,
Oh, good,
he was able to pull it together.
good.
So Laura did send me a conditional approval, yesterday, today, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Saying that the project meets the standards, the chimneys, restoring the windows, the exterior carpentry repairs, and the exterior painting, she has approved. She still wants to talk to me about, some details about the roof and some details about the, I had mentioned that we would caulk as necessary, and that's not going over well. But anyway, but as far as the windows, she has approved the restoration of the windows.
I think the big thing they were grappling was removing the windows and putting in a replacement so that you could literally put the window sashes into the collection,
You suggested
right?
that, yeah.
Because they are unique. And that way you don't have to worry about degradation of them. Or do you look at
And
the-
that's essentially what putting a storm window on would do,
that's-
is sort of put it on display essentially, you know, it would
Yeah.
protect it like a item in a
like a
collection.
glass case.
Whether that's our, you know, our best
Right.
choice, we don't know yet.
Or you leave them in situ and they're part of the bigger originality of that building.
Mhm.
And so which is more important? You know, and that's, you could go around and around and there's
We
good
do.
reasons, right? Yeah.
But that's not on the table today.
Not on the table today.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that they're gonna restore the sashes and have to remove them.
I understand.
Yeah.
Has Jim Garvin, he's on board with it?
Mhm.
Then I move approval.
He wrote the specs.
Yeah.
So he's,
How often are like doors and windows open to allow for like,
in this building, the doors open every day during the season, it is on the public tour.
do windows get, I mean,
We don't, that's one thing we were talking about as statute, because we were talking about that one in terms of what sequence should we replace the windows? Not replace, but take them out, sorry, that was a scary word. Should we take them out and then put them back? But also when we talk about storms and the different types of potential storms, we talk about what do we need to be able to operate these windows, and so we currently don't, because of the collections teams. We have two layers of shades that we keep drawn. We have a UV shade and then a light blocking shade. And so the light blocking shades come up on the first floor during the day. But anyway, there's not much opportunity to open windows, but the door is opened daily. And we could potentially open the windows more.
If they're stable, when they're stable.
When we think they
Right.
won't fall out.
Right,
Yeah. And that's, you know, that's a whole nother discussion too, is these buildings are breathing
they're made,
entities.
yeah, windows are made to open and to be used, and that's part of, you know, everything breathing, and the reason you get condensation problems, in my opinion, is because everything's closed up and
Yeah,
it's not being used, so, I don't know.
you should be on our building committee.
Yes, it should, but anyways.
You need more help.
So, I have a motion on the floor, do I have a second?
Motion approval.
I have have a
I
second?
mean, I move approval.
Move approval, do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
I'm good at that.
Okay, all in favor of approving certificate of application? Aye?
Aye.
Okay, and then there's the secondary part of that, which is the request for waiver of hearing, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so again, this is kind of a new thing that we're using, this waiver of public hearing, but I think in an instance where everything fits the ordinance otherwise, yes, it's seen from the public, but it is temporary in nature. So I don't see the reason to have a public hearing.
I think it's great to do this level of review, because then when you hear from people, you'll know that the project is happening and that we plan to put them back in, like I totally get that.
It's all about transparency.
Being ready, yeah.
Buzzword, but yeah, so
Do you have an idea how soon there'll be resolution of the storm windows?
If I know us, it will be 2 to 3 years, if I had to guess, because I think we're gonna, one, get through all of the parts of the project that we know we need to do, see if we have any money left.
Yeah.
And see, are we worried about the windows? Often, in my experience, when the windows are just done and they look amazing, you don't wanna add storm windows. So I suspect that that'll be a phase 2, like sometime down the road, we might consider that. But if I had to guess, I would guess that's not happening in the next 2 to 3 years.
You'd have to get funding for that separately.
Well, that's the thing, is if we do, because the project is fully funded by our estimate now. And so it might be that we wanna go ahead and do it now if we have the money now. But I don't have the final cost estimates in. I won't be surprised if it takes all the money that we have without the storm windows.
How many windows?
I don't know exactly. It might say in this proposal. It's
No worries.
just 2, so 4 at the attic level. Because of the roof, it's not as many as you think, cause it's really only the first floor of the house.
33.
33.
Are they pulling them all at once?
No.
So one floor at a time?
I think it won't even be that many. Arch is wanting to do like 4 to 6 at a time.
What's this turnaround like?
I'm hoping just a few weeks. I don't know. It's longer than I like.
So if you pull them in the winter, what are you gonna do as a,
That was my next question.
What we'll do is put a temporary, right now, Todd had just makes like a wooden frame with greenhouse plastic. If we have to go into the winter, we might have to do something more
Can you
durable.
paint the 12/12 when he puts it on?
piece of zip painted?
We could. I'm hoping none of them are gonna be out that long, that it becomes a problem. We have talked about that.
Might look into maybe using polygal instead of,
What's polygal?
polygal is a twin wall polycarbonate that you use in greenhouses.
Okay,
It's structurally a lot more, it's gonna hold up to hail and ice
You
fall.
can get it with loads, right? It's like, it looks like
Yeah,
a
you
beehive, it's like a
can,
bed.
but you'd be better off going to like brick and greenhouse.
is it
supply.
translucent or is it like solid?
Yeah,
Do you
no,
think
it's
that-
translucent.
Do you
Okay.
think that'll affect moisture, plastic?
Well, the thing with using the twin wall, and you can get it in triple wall, so you get 2 dense air spaces, is that you don't have that issue, cause you've got,
That's what they say.
well, I mean, we use it in greenhouses for that reason, to keep down the condensation problems that you get with a single layer,
Okay,
right? Cause you've got
Because
hot
it's-
against cold,
yeah.
and you're
Okay.
forming condensation on the inside. But then structurally, falling ice, hail, it
Well,
would hold up better.
shouldn't, yeah,
People looking at it and going, yeah, I can put my fingers through that. But just a thought.
well, that's part of the reason we're starting at the top, because it hadn't occurred to me to worry about security. But we have some board members who've mentioned that point, and I think it's worth considering. So we figure we'll start at the top, because we don't have to worry about security, and then we'll figure it out by the time we get to the bottom.
But you are gonna go through the season with the restoration project. You won't
I
stop
think
because.
at the rate we're going, it's gonna take a while, yeah.
Alright. Okay,
Mhm.
good. So,
Well, thank you.
if you're all in agreement, I don't need a vote, but I feel that BOS rep and I could waive the public hearing necessity and move along.
Great.
Number 2 is the horse barn roof. Tell us.
So exciting, it's finally happening. I think did I tell you, do you want me to just introduce it or do
Yes,
you wanna
if you
do
would.
it? Okay.
No.
So the horse barn is the wood shingle building right where you enter the village from visitor parking. The roof has been tarped, I think we're on the 4th iteration of tarp. All of the birds' nests in the area include blue tarp, and I'm sure that that's our fault. Anyway, it's actively leaking, and so we finally have a roofer who's gonna come out and replace the roof for us, and we have the state approval for that. We will be strapping it, to let it breathe a little bit better, hoping to buy a little more, life in the shingles. We'll be using the yellow cedar, Alaskan yellow cedar that we bought for the dwelling house and have stored in the cart shed. I'm trying to think of other important details. What questions do you have? It's currently a cedar, I mean, it's essentially an in-kind replacement. It's like, I mean, the material has changed slightly, but not so much.
And the cupola, is there any,
That will also be redone, so the sides of it are sort of shingled up, and then it has a pyramidal or hipped roof, and that will all be done.
Do you know why they chose yellow cedar?
I would like to hear more about that, I don't know why, do you know why, Kevin?
I think it was availability. I think back when they bought that
We
stuff.
ordered a
No, so you just
trailer,
have like a bunch,
we have a bunch.
so
Yeah.
just having it,
Well, now it's because we have it, yeah.
Okay.
I think on the meeting house, not to go backwards, but the contractor that I'm hoping to do the meeting house would rather use Eastern White, and he has a source. I think at the time it was the only thing they could get,
Yeah,
and so
I
they
think that
bought
was
a ton of it.
it was right about the pandemic, I think.
Yeah, I think,
I think yellow was all they could source at the time.
yeah, but
In
so
that, in the quantity they needed.
yeah, I think for the meeting house, we're gonna see if we can use Eastern White. But we'll see,
That would be lovely.
wouldn't it be nice?
Excuse my ignorance, but what's on the barn right now? What kind of, it looks like metal from one of these pictures.
That's the back, that's the tarp and battens, I
Oh,
would
that's
imagine.
a tarp.
Yeah.
I think that's the blue tarp and battens that you're
Looks like
seeing
CNC,
now.
doesn't it?
Pictures are deceiving.
Yeah. It's cedar shingle, I just don't know what kind.
Have they used yellow cedar before?
Yes, we have it on the dwelling house.
Has it held up?
It looks great.
Looks great.
Yeah, I was up in it was a while ago, it was in late June, but it had been, 2 years?
2 years.
And I was just up in the cupola
There's been
and
no issues,
it looks
like
really good, no.
below, like,
Mhm.
You said you're gonna use the same, you have leftovers,
Mhm.
is there enough?
We have enough to do the horse barn and maybe the east house
Really?
left. We'll see, we'll measure again once we get the horse barn done.
Cause I know it was hard to come by.
I know. We definitely have enough to do one more roof and might or might not have enough to do two. Any other
Any questions?
questions or concerns?
And do you have a timeline on this?
Well, I don't wanna apply pressure to your decision. Monday? Dropping the dumpster on Friday, but no pressure.
Seems how it's been 4 years already.
Yeah, I
don't know
mean,
that we feel a lot of pressure, do we?
well, I don't wanna influence your decision.
I move approval of the concept and the waiving of the public hearing.
Ooh, I like your,
right to
put
it,
it
right?
right together, huh?
Yeah. Do you know what he's using for fasteners?
Stainless,
Stainless
Mhm.
staples?
no,
Nails?
nails, mhm.
Shank,
Yeah, ring shank?
ring shank,
Yeah,
Mhm.
stainless steel ring shank right there.
excellent,
Alright.
Gonna hand nail each one.
that's okay. It's no different than going back every year and repounding in the ones that are popping, or the ones that rotted away, and the little shingles on the ground now. Alright, well, I would motion to accept the application as,
Can I ask a quick question on the subject of roofs,
Mhm.
the belfry. What's the status of the repairs?
At the dwelling house?
Yeah.
It is the same. I was up there with Aaron Sturgis in the end of June, and we looked at it, and there's a problem, and he's gonna get a proposal to me, but that's as far as we are.
Okay,
So it's still on the list, but
I was just curious.
not moving anywhere this moment.
Is there any gutter work part of this roof? It's just the shingles themselves.
No, it's only a couple of valleys and they look really good. We think we'll be able to reuse the copper. We'll see what we get.
All in favor of approval?
Aye.
I'm sorry, did we have a second?
No, we didn't, as a matter of fact.
That me?
Subaru's
I saw it.
I was ready to put your name down.
Yeah. Just
Uh,
put me down for a second.
Having a second, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
None opposed. Approved as submitted. Which brings us to project number 3, which is a newbie.
Starting Friday.
3 weeks, maybe 4. 3 if they work Saturdays.
So this is in the bee house.
Yes, so the bee house is the adorable little yellow building in the field near where the cow barn was. I can show you a picture if you want, if you're not familiar with it. And we had a donor who just has a particular affinity for bees and came forward to fund the preservation of this building. So we'd love to move it forward. It has an asphalt shingle roof right now, and we just plan to replace it with the same. The actual shingle, I didn't remember to get a sample from Todd, but it's a CertainTeed XT25 in black, 3-tab in black, which is the same thing we used on the Brethren shop, and it's the closest match we know to what's up there currently.
Why wouldn't you use the yellow cedar that you have?
Because it's not cedar now,
Okay.
I think is our justification. The,
What year was that built, do you know?
1837.
1837. Alright, so the application
moved a couple of times, when we were in there looking at it, we were in there
When-
scoping,
You know
and
when it was roofed? Last?
I don't.
No.
It, swank era, 90s.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Pretty much
Probably,
everything got
I
a new
think-
roof in the 90s.
because it'd been like the 50s,
Yeah.
early 60s when everything.
It
was
could
like
be,
asphalt
it wouldn't
and
date all the way back to the 70s, because when the building was, when the big barn was burned.
Yeah.
That building was saved, but it was moved
Moved
after
forward.
that. And we've been up and there's a lot of fire damage, that one was a close call, so I assume it got a new roof then. So maybe it was later, maybe it was 2000s instead of the 90s, but it's a shingle life cycle ago. But I don't know the details of that. And we'll be coming back with the rest of, I shouldn't ask this in public, but do you review painting? No,
No,
okay,
it's
great.
one thing that we don't have.
And only windows if they're taken out or off-site.
And yeah, any repair that's removed from the structure.
Okay, so you'll be hearing from me again about that, but we're also hoping to paint it this fall.
Yeah, is there any paint history to it?
We need to do more research, that's part of the reason I didn't throw it in now. Because people know it as the little yellow building, and it's cute, but there's definitely evidence that it was dark red, like barn red. Which might also be nice and tie it in with the wood,
Yeah.
identify it as an agricultural building. But we haven't decided if we wanna go that way yet. And we will also do the roof on the ventilator. Cupola, whatever you wanna call it.
This also includes, there used to be a hive attached, a little tunnel type thing, there was fencing where that used to be, you're gonna remove that.
We'd like to, it looks like it was designed to be removable and it's falling down, so Todd would like to take it down. We might, if we need to, we could put it back replace it when we do the rest of the project, but we'd like to remove what's
I don't
there
think,
now.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one building where it was redone as interpretation in the museum era, so a lot of what has been done to it is modern era. It was neat though, we were looking at the wall, like the interior wall is like horizontal, really wide, beautiful boards. But they're holes where the bees used to come in and out, cause there was like a display inside, like what, to me, it reminds me of like the ant farm I used to have, you know, like an ant farm window inside. And anyway, when we looked in that hole just to see what the structure was, we saw a newspaper. And so we took a picture of the newspaper, and Shirley, being the amazing researcher that she is, identified that it was an 1868 article on temperance, but so it was nice, so we could date, so for whatever reason, newspaper was on the walls and, 1868 newspaper on the walls, so.
Early installation,
There's,
insulation.
yeah, but again, and so, yeah, then a whole nother wall structure built inside of that, so anyway, it's a little interesting. We'll learn a little bit more as we go, but we're not gonna take it all apart, so.
The brick house here on the corner
Mhm.
had telephone books. And
Just
for
stuck in the wall.
insulation.
Oh, really? That's kinda
That's
cool.
what I've heard.
And then have you come to a conclusion you're just gonna prune?
We're
Yeah,
gonna,
exciting.
step one, we're gonna prune and we're gonna see. We're divided on the matter and I'm losing, so we're gonna prune and see how it goes.
So the discussion is about
This giant
the
cedar.
cedar there, everybody that's out front, there's the door. Pretty much hidden, this plant has overgrown the building.
Todd said that he looked at it and it doesn't appear to be doing damage, which I might agree with, there is a crack in the,
There is a crack
in
in
the
the
pad there?
foundation.
but we don't know, but anyway.
Yeah, that could be just, it doesn't appear that it's upheaval
Yeah.
that caused the crack, that's the
It's a
thing,
vertical
but
crack.
it's
so.
not helping to have that foliage that close to that building.
Well, Todd's definitely gonna cut back the backside and then that one branch that goes out this way. I think at that point, it's gonna look so ridiculous that we're gonna be ready to, I don't know, we'll see, one step at a time. Do we have to get that approved, do removal of plantings go through this board?
Is there any thought of restoring function?
Of the bee house?
Yeah.
As a bee house? No, I mean, yes, there's been discussion of it, but that's not the direction that we're gonna go. We are going to use that space to interpret the agricultural history, because that's really the only agricultural building left, including bees, but we aren't gonna raise them anymore in there. Out in the orchard, we raise bees, but.
Glad to hear it.
To answer your question, I guess technically yes.
You do? So if we decide to remove it, we have to let you know, ask your permission.
I think with,
All the more reason to trim it first.
yes.
Okay.
I won't speak, I'm sitting in the wrong chair to speak, so.
Procedures, technically we need to come back before we remove it. Okay, that's good to know.
So having a de-accession protocol would be one thing that this board would probably respond to.
Oh, that's good to know.
Do you show this to the donor before you go ahead with it?
In this case, we did not. The
No.
donor came to us and asked what our plans were for this building and wanted to support it.
Okay,
Do you think it would be helpful to show, we don't usually
I
show
don't
this level of detail when we go to people.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah, no, we're excited to get this one. Just to give you a little bit of background, the village, before I got here a couple years ago, the building committee identified what they call the Elite Eight, which were 8 buildings that are highly visible and used, but also had significant envelope issues. And that they determined that that is the current focus. But we have a lot of other things that need to be taken care of too. So it's very nice when people come in with a specific idea to preserve something, because otherwise it's hard for me to direct resources to these sort of secondary buildings, so it's kind of nice when they just come forward and let us know that they'd like to do some of these other things as well.
You can have pet projects.
Especially the little ones that we can get done.
Right. Make you feel good, show progress.
Yeah.
Alright, any other questions then? Hearing none, got a motion for approval as submitted along with the public waiver?
Does it say on there about the waiving public hearing?
Yes.
I didn't notice it.
Down at the bottom,
It's
we have
okay.
a chart here.
I move approval as written.
Okay,
Was there ever talk about asphalt or cedar roof
Internally there was,
internally?
yes.
And it's just, I was
We,
just curious.
so I don't know if, I'll say more and then you can correct. So we have a few building committee members who want everything that was asphalt in the 1992 easement documentation to go that way.
Okay.
And that would include the meeting house, the east house, there were a lot of buildings in the early 90s that were asphalt. And we've been trying to restore them back. And so we had the conversation, but this is one, because it's currently asphalt, that I've decided not to push too hard for.
Okay.
The ones like the east house that is cedar, I'm pushing hard to keep it cedar.
Okay.
But this one I decided to leave it the way it is.
So there are some people that just look back to that 92, and if it's asphalt, they just.
Their interpretation of the easement is that that is the baseline documentation, and so they say this is what we have to do. My interpretation is this is the least we can do,
Yeah,
and that we ought to do better where we can.
yeah, to me, that seems ridiculous,
But some people interpret that literally to say like, this is what it was, so this is what we must preserve.
It's interesting.
Yeah, but anyway, so this one, because it is asphalt, I haven't pushed that.
Alright, pick your battles. Yeah, I won't lose sleep, but
Okay.
it's definitely,
You don't want
it'll
that.
be in my head, but I won't lose sleep about it.
well, I think, with other projects coming up that are more the ministry lane, the dwelling house lane, those overall
They're all,
landscapes.
they're all important to me,
Oh,
Kel.
they are, trust me. But if you have limited resources and
No, I know.
you've got other thoughts, to have that saved for potentially, let's say, the East House, which is right there, everybody's view. Yeah, I hear where you're coming from.
But I guess going forward, I don't want, I mean, me personally, being on the HCC, I wouldn't want the limited resources to be the excuse all the time, you know?
It technically should have no bearing. If you look at other historic districts, they don't give a whit.
Economics are not supposed, they're not in the standards,
Yeah.
they're not one of the official considerations.
So,
One thing I would suggest is that whatever lessons you learn from all the study of the meeting house windows could be applied to the repair of these windows.
Are they doing those?
Todd is gonna do the bee house windows, yeah. We're
Who's
gonna keep-
Todd?
Todd is our facilities manager, he's our on-site guy. He has reactivated the window workshop in the horse barn. And usually he's just doing one at a time where we've lost a pane of glass or something, but he's excited to keep this one himself. And I think we're gonna be doing a volunteer paint project to paint the bee house.
Calvin will be
We'll
there.
keep you posted.
Careful what you
He
wish
loves
for.
to paint.
You love to paint?
Yeah,
I heard that.
schedule's wide open.
So, all in favor of as submitted with the waiver, signify by saying aye.
I
Unanimous, opposed?
Everybody. Can I take 30 more seconds to
You wanna
give some updates?
Talk about something new?
Just, so, again, these buildings will all have other phases also, so you'll be seeing me again, but I'm excited to report that we're working on getting funding together for the East House rehabilitation. And we have applied for an L-chip grant and we have secured all the match. So if we get that grant, then that is a go for sure. And I think it's exciting that the donor who's donated the match is also wants us to put an exhibit in one room in the lower level of that building, to talk about the children's history on site. So that'll be kind of a nice addition, to activate a little bit of space in there. So that's gonna hopefully be coming. We'll know in the fall about that grant, and so hopefully that will go to construction next spring, next season. And then just yesterday, I got a call that we received a Save America's Treasures grant for the infirmary, which is kind of exciting, because that is a very front and center building. So now we have to get busy. I did not think that was going to happen, with the way the federal funding is going these days. So I had not been raising that match, but we will now hustle and try to, get that one together. That one will probably not go to construction next year, because that building, I don't know if you're all familiar with it, but it is an infirmary, and it is full of collections and interpretation, including the historic pharmacy, which is going to be a challenge to address. We're gonna have to move everything out, do a little bit of hazardous materials mitigation before we can get the project going. So it's gonna be a fun and exciting, but a little bit complicated project to get going. So anyway, I'll be back to you all for both of those in the next year, for sure.
What do you envision with the scope for the East House?
The East House is mostly building envelope, so that building has some significant structural problems in that it has a double sill, which is a little bit unique, at least in my experience, and we think it's because it was moved there, so we think that they built the foundation and then, and had to have a platform and then moved the building and set on. But both sills are significantly rotted, and so that one the sills will have to be replaced, in addition to sort of the roof, chimneys, siding, windows, foundation. It needs a lot of masonry foundation.
You'll have to lift the building?
We're gonna have to lift it a little bit, yeah. Maybe just, a side at a time or something, but,
So that was the original trustees.
that was the trustee's office that used to be on the other side of
Other side.
Shaker Road. It's been moved twice, so it started there, then it got
To the
moved to
infirmary.
where the infirmary is, and then it got moved over there, so it's got some, it's got some story to it. So I think those will be two pretty exciting, sizable projects that'll be coming your way. A little bit of interior scope on the East House because we'll do a little bit of weatherization, not a lot, but that's where I've been living and it is cold in there in the winter time. So we'll do a little bit of weatherization, mostly the foundation work will take care of that. We might do a little bit of insulation of the basement ceiling under the first floor and a couple other things, but also to get the exhibit in there, we might have to do a little bit more work because the room that will probably become the exhibit is the room that I would sleep in the winter because it's freezing upstairs, so we might have to introduce heat or
Just some
something.
kerosene heaters,
Yeah, I don't
that'd be fun.
We'll figure it out, but anyway, so mostly exterior envelope, but a little bit of interior systems improvement as well.
Thank you.
That'd be a good exhibit for reusing of buildings,
Yeah,
actually, when you think about it.
it's kind of nice that that one has already been housing for so long that we're not converting it, it already is, so we'll be actually reclaiming a little bit of it for museum, but
That was the first seat packing upstairs
I think that's true.
also.
And Daryl's museum and
Yeah.
all kinds of things,
All
yeah.
kinds of
Yeah.
things happened in that building.
That is another one, I don't know, we do have on the meeting house, but also for the East House, we have a historic building assessment that provides some good history, so if anyone wants to read that, I'm happy to share.
Alright,
Well, thanks for your time, I'm sorry to hog your whole
No, no,
meeting,
no.
but
it's good to know
trying to get
what's
things
going
going.
on.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Just one more aside,
Uh-huh,
I'm leaving this board, but
I heard that.
I just want you to know, I think that Shaker Village is in better hands now than it has been for maybe 20 years.
Well, thank you, that's great. I'm excited about where we are. You met Cassidy today, she's amazing. She's been here 6 weeks and we've brought in over $1 million since she got here. Like, we've got, these two big projects moving and she's gonna be amazing. But we're also working on a new strategic plan. We've got some new energy and, no big change, but new energy, and that goes a long way. So I think it's gonna be great.
Just keep Jim Garvin alive for another 20 years.
We're gonna keep him around, he's not going anywhere. I'm not gonna let him go anywhere.
I'm an AI Jim Garvin.
That'd be
Great.
hilarious.
Alright, well, thanks,
Good.
Aaron.
Well, thanks guys, I appreciate it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Looking at the agenda, I think all we have, other than that, is, I don't think we had any old business. Oh, I will ask,
Oldish.
oldish, Sand Lake Garage,
Oh, we don't care about that.
we don't care.
Just kidding.
Keeping up with the recycle, reduce, reuse, we're using 4 different roof tar papers.
I saw that.
No, I actually talked to Ken about that this week. They're supposed to be in here next week to roof it. They're framing the town garage in Boston, so they were on a crane all last week, so they stepped out.
You don't mind if I sneak out?
Absolutely.
Thank you
They're
guys.
supposed to be here tackling the roof next week.
So are you shaking the roof?
No, I think it's asphalt.
That's what it was in 92, so that's what they're putting up.
I believe it's asphalt. I believe, don't quote me on it.
So what's all the bundles in there?
I thought that was for siding.
Is this, so they're not siding it, they're
Roofing it, doing the roof,
shaking it though?
asphalt,
Asphalt roof,
Asphalt
cedar
roof.
shake,
shake
Siding.
siding.
Cedar shake siding.
Yeah, cause I think it has to match, I think the gable ends were shakes, I believe. I don't remember before they stripped it, but I thought there was shakes like 9 feet up.
I know the far end was, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're, whatever was on there, they're duplicating.
Okay.
But I believe it's asphalt roof. I'll shoot the messenger.
No, I didn't expect,
No, I think they stepped off because it was 100 degrees and they had another job and no one wants to roof when it's 100 degrees.
and
Except for
the plan still is to keep
nobody wants to roof.
the door, the front door intact?
I think they're gonna repair that, from my understanding. They're gonna keep the same door,
Yeah.
the same look, but they're gonna repair with the rot on the bottom.
Right,
And then that inside
but it won't be movable, I'm assuming.
I believe it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're gonna
They're
be
gonna
framed
keep
in
it
a 2x6
operational?
wall, a foot or two in,
Oh,
have a man door, like 36-inch ADA compliant man door.
Yeah.
So you can still open the barn door to
oh,
access, is my understanding. That was the intention, that's what they wanted the whole time, was to keep
Yeah.
the garage facade, but have
Pleased to
the
hear that,
accessibility.
Yeah.
So that's
That's
all,
great.
that's all that was last update
unless the accessibility person can move that door out of the way first. Okay.
An addition.
No, I was just curious, I saw the material in there, the vinyl windows.
Yeah, right?
Looking pretty good, the Matthews Brothers. Anderson 400s,
So,
Are they vinyl windows? Oh yeah,
Harvey's.
Harvey vinyls?
It's not even Harvey's.
I'll go
I
look.
don't even think they're Harvey's. Anyways, that was the only old business I had, just curious. Anybody got anything?
No.
Any new business? Other business? Monkey business?
Other businesses, this is my last meeting, I'm
Yes.
resigning and going to Heritage Heights, selling the house at some point. Got 50 years of accretion to get rid of first,
That'll take a while.
so.
Well, I wanna thank you, Harry, for all the years that
I'm sorry?
I wanna thank you for all the years you've put
Wow.
in this group and other
It's
endeavors that you've been involved with in town.
been my pleasure,
Both you and Sarah have been a huge asset to this
yeah,
community for years.
thank you,
And have learned a lot from both of you,
thank you.
so. We'll be in touch.
Hard to think of living it,
Yeah, I bet, but, you know,
it's only 10 minutes away.
it is, I go by it all the time on my way to Home Depot. So, alright, well, thank y'all for coming
I
out.
got 2 things.
Two things?
Sorry, gotta do it. It's been brought up numerous times, I kinda hit on it Monday. Townspeople want a sign in the center of town for, movers, what's going on, you know, people complain they don't hear, they don't see, they're not hearing what's happening, so it was brought to our attention that people want a, I don't know, would you call it a billboard, what do you call those?
Like what the school
Like what the
has.
school has, you know, a sign, a removable letter sign, and they want it in the center of town. So obviously that has to go through the HDC for input, approval, etc. And I wasn't sure how receptive the HTC would be of that, or if there was any places, if they were receptive, what they would like to see, size, et cetera, design. It doesn't have, you know, this is obviously just getting the ball
Yeah.
rolling, but there's been a lot of people asking about.
Are they talking electrified?
From my understanding, just like one of the ones where you change the word, the letters, just like the
Letters.
school,
Like the church sign?
Yeah,
yeah. Something like that, I would assume it would be 3x5, whatever, I don't know what the standard size is, 3x5, 4x6, something along those.
I guess my initial concern would be is how big it would have to be to impart enough knowledge to be worthwhile.
Right.
And because we have this when we design little signs, you know, everybody wants to put all the information in there, but when you're driving by, even at 30 miles an hour, let alone 50,
Yeah.
you can only see certain sizes and colors and whatnot. And so, to me, the size of the sign would have to be so large to impart any amount of information, let alone 2 or 3 activities, that would be the first thing I'd consider.
Something else you need to consider is where it's gonna be, is it facing a state road? Cause the state has requirements. And if the only consideration I could think that they would even consider it would be if it's quote unquote on premise. And it's not on premise.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the town ordinance has
The 10
signs
square feet.
10 square feet. And we don't have anything in the town ordinance that actually talks to off-site signage, which has come up before. More usually in a seasonal aspect,
Mhm.
people put up pick your owns or whatever. But that's never really been addressed. If some contractor wants to put up roofing signs, you know,
Well, there are rules for the green. I know there are rules for the center of town. Whether or not they're adhered to or enforced is another story.
right. So I think at some point, whoever they are, is it really the town, is it some group of people, has to come forward with something literal that you can talk about and judge and
And not just the sign, but the where are they talking about putting it?
Well, cause the 3 places that I've heard proposed were that side of the road by the cemetery, somewhere facing this way, so you can see it coming up and down the hill in terms of visibility. The second place was in front of the historic building, the brick building, on that corner where people see it going up and down. Those were the 2 main ones, and the third was where the library used to put theirs on the corner there. But then they said visibility, how many people actually go down Center Road versus who just comes in the 4-way and leaves.
Right.
Again, don't shoot the messenger, I'm
No,
just trying to get the ball rolling.
No, not at all,
I think
not
it's,
at all.
I think it's a great idea, honestly, because if you could put, instead of having the Canterbury Fair sign, the 20-foot Canterbury Fair sign that gets blown over every time you get a gust of wind, have something on that for a couple weeks, or the pancake breakfast. If we're not dealing with transient signs and they're centralized, it could be a great source of information for people, but at the same time, you have to bring up aesthetics. Who's maintaining it? Is it lit? Is it not? Does it jive with the feel of the town? There's a lot of logistics that go with it. We're just trying to figure out if that's something that the HTC would listen to, and if so, what direction would you wanna see it? So we can start
Certainly
building a
listen to
proposal.
it. I just, you know, like I said, it's hard to give advice
Right.
when you don't know what it is you're okaying. And again, my worry is if it's gonna be functional, I mean, this is an age of, we have a newsletter, we have a website, you know, we spend a ton of money on the website. There's lots of ways people can get information, and I'm not sure the amount of information that would be presented on a sign that big as you're tooling through town would be more of a benefit than nobody's taking care of it, it needs painting, they want a light on it now. You know, there's probably pros and cons all over the place, and so until somebody,
Whoever these people are that want this sign have other means of getting their word out, which is like the newsletter and the town email and et cetera. And also, you should know that the Historical Society trustees is in the process of trying to get the library, the old library, the Elkins building, onto the state register of historic places. And with the cemetery, I think those would be absolutely off limits for any consideration. But I'm not gonna be here, but that's my opinion.
That's fair. I mean, I don't read anything the school sends home on emails, cause I get 8,000 emails. I only know what's going on at the school, cause I sign at the school when I pick up and drop off.
And I
That's how I take information in,
personally,
you
I
know?
like seeing the different signs, because they pop up and then I see them and I'm cued in. Something that's there statically, 365 days a year, I probably wouldn't pay attention to. As opposed to the Big Red Apple, or Clough Tavern's Christmas, so I think that's part of the uniqueness. I'm not saying I'm totally against this sign idea, I'm just saying, if you're asking, you know, I think part of that, those temporary seasonal handmade things is part of the unique character of town, because they come and go. And
The Canterbury Fair sign would be considered on premise because it's the town advertising the fair on town property. So it passes that hurdle, but if it was advertising Hackleburg Orchard, that would not work.
right, but what you're saying is let's say let's use the summer concert series or the farmer's market, those kinds of
Town
things.
meeting, everything that everyone complains about, you know, town meeting, 6 p.m. or whatever, like.
Yeah.
The bullet points, you know, it doesn't need to be every Tom, Dick, and Harry's information, but the heavy hitters for the month would be
Yeah.
the stuff they're trying to put out there, you know?
I think it all goes back to what is it really we're talking about, so when that comes up, definitely think this board would be in on that, for sure. I don't wanna squelch it, I don't wanna promote it.
And then second new business is, it was brought to the select board, land acknowledgement this past May. I'm still wishy-washy on it. It was brought up by Evan Christensen, you guys probably know him. He did the history of, he did a presentation last year at the library. And he brought up, let me see if I can pull it up. Land use, yada yada yada, I got so many emails. Land acknowledgement. And essentially, I can get it. I'll just hit on what it is. It's a land acknowledgement is a formal statement that recognizes and respects indigenous people as traditional stewards of a region. It honors their enduring relationship with the traditional territories of the ongoing presence of indigenous nations. So he's proposing, I guess, language or signage to denote the acknowledgement. So the select board had talked about where it would be pertinent in town to have said acknowledgement. Is it town offices, is it in, in this room, is it on a monument in a place in town? And we were just trying to hear if you had any thoughts or grievances, or, would you want a plaque in the center of town, or would you be okay with just an 8x12 picture frame in the building sort of thing? What do you think fits the spirit of the town, I guess? They're asking conservation committees as well too, what they think in terms of.
Yeah, I guess,
So does he have an idea of where he wants to put it, or?
what it looks like,
He gave us examples of Portsmouth, Dover, and Durham, UNH. He's a student at UNH.
Yeah.
And he gave us the examples of how those towns did it in their acknowledgement, and some of them were plaques, and some of them were in buildings, some of them were in the town green, and we're just trying to figure out what fits Canterbury, what we feel is.
Does he wanna know does he have an idea of where he would like it, or where it should be, or?
in town space.
in town space.
And we're just trying to, and I believe it's geared towards being integrated with tricentennial, we're just trying to figure out what fits the proposal best and what adequately addresses it without.
I mean, I get the idea of everybody wanting to feel us out, or any board out, before they go ahead with a project. But it's really not a board's responsibility to take a nebulous idea and give a thought on it. We have preconceptual meetings where somebody comes in with a plan and says, hey, before I formally
Right.
submit this, take a look at it and let me know, yes, no, tweak it or whatever. That's to me is what a board should do. Anything prior to that, which sounds like both of these things are, I'm uncomfortable saying, well, I'd be okay if there was a rock with a plaque on it out in the green. And then it turns out to be, a piece of polished granite that's, because you just don't know yet.
Yeah, I guess with both, I would like to know, where it's going and what it's gonna be.
Because I think it's just, you give a blurb.
I missed the first part, who is proposing this?
Evan Christensen,
Who?
Evan Christensen, I think he's a college student, but he lives
College
in town.
student lives in town.
I'm sorry,
A college student that lives in town, goes to UNH.
what's their motive?
Well, it's him, Evan. It's just part of, he's very into history and, I can't speak for him, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that,
I'll just give you a bit of history. Back between 1976 and 1980, I worked in Washington on the Lady Bird Johnson program. And anything to do with advertising is a slippery slope, and I've seen it ruin communities. And it's something that you really need to be careful what you approve.
to tag on to that, this board has had discussions over the years about having signage for the historic districts.
Yes.
You're now entering Center Historic District or Shaker District. And the boards have been split and not agreeable to, is that a good idea? Or do we not want so many signs in town that they're like trees, So those discussions have been had before, and
Might be a time for the HDC to write some policy.
yeah, perhaps. But, so I, again, I find it would be hard to give an opinion of, oh, we think the best place to do it would be here, not knowing what it is.
Fair.
So, happy to be involved. I think we should be involved if it is in the historic district. But I don't know that we can really, I wouldn't be comfortable saying, here's some options, pick one. It's not our job.
Oh, no, I just,
Right, yeah.
yeah, I just didn't know if, what your knee-jerk reaction to was it, oh yeah, it'd be great, let's put a monument with a plaque, or no, let's just stick with the picture frame in the building
I'm not
kind of thing.
I'm not against anything that I don't know anything about. I hate shutting down things, but I don't like to just approve something, or not approve, but give a recommendation or a thought, and then, well, so-and-so said this, not knowing what this was.
Now, there's one more point. You need to know where if they're talking about putting something in the state right of way, that's illegal. Even political signs can be thrown down because it's illegal, it's a trespass. If they're talking about putting on private property, then they're gonna have to have the permission of whoever owns the property. So, there's legal ramifications of any kind of policy that you need to explore before you make any kind of decision.
Well, I think that's why you went to the town.
Yeah, it'd be a town, it'd be on the town land, it would be, it would be in a public, displayed in a public building or outside of a public building.
Yeah.
It was just sort of trying to feel out,
But obviously, I truly don't even know what scope we're looking at yet, we're just trying to feel out what's the, I guess, what's the knee-jerk reaction to, no, it'd be greater, oh, well, I don't know if we need it or not.
I don't have a reaction, I guess. Cause I don't know what to react to. I think he should come up with several options and ideas and then present them to select board, HDC, whatever. I'm not against the concept of acknowledging native, habitation. But doesn't mean I'm for a sign or a monument or something that I don't know.
Is this an issue that's come to the selectmen? And they're looking for an answer from you, the selectmen?
No, we're just trying to feel out the committees or the boards that would be, I guess, affected by it, you know, or
Well, I
the intent
appreciate
of the, the notice or the acknowledgement would, be either an HDC or could potentially be on conservation land, so we're just trying to feel out what the boards
Well, I would think that
feel.
the answer, if I were a selectman, would be say, go see the HDC. If you're talking about in the district.
I think we're still trying to figure out what exactly he's proposed, he
And I
kinda,
think-
Yeah.
he threw, I mean,
I
he's,
think
it's
that's-
good intention, but it's just trying to figure out what is the.
And I think that's the course, is to have him come up with some ideas and some locations and some, what is it exactly?
Mhm.
Like you said, it could be a statue, could be a sign, could be a flag, I don't know.
Laser show.
And then people can respond and
Okay.
react to it. Yeah,
Perfect.
but thank you to the select board for thinking of the other boards that may be affected by something. I get that point and acknowledge that.
Well, writing on the monument.
Alrighty, hearing
Now
no,
to declare victory?
let's declare victory at just after 8:00. Take a motion for adjournment.
To answer your question,
Oh, yes.
how's this?
I'll move to adjourn this meeting, man, in a second.
Harry's out of here, he doesn't care.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, good night.
Yeah, 17